Sacramento and the Sacramento area is still the best bang for your buck if you're looking for the California lifestyle. You want to stay in California and you don't want to pay those crazy Bay Area prices or Los Angeles prices. It's always kind of been that spot. In this video, we're going to break down exactly what type of buyers are coming into the Sacramento area. We're going to break it down based on price point, and we're going to show you a little statistics from last year to this year and show you which markets and which segments are actually moving, which are stalling, which ones are just picking up the pace and starting to get going. This is going to be very interesting because Sacramento and the Sacramento area is morphing. It's changing. A lot of new homes, a lot of luxury communities, a lot of affordable builders like Meritage are building new communities. So we're going to break it down for you a little bit and show you exactly which one of these market segments are actually picking up the pace, which ones are slowing down, how Sacramento stacks up against 2025, and what we're looking like in 2026. So if you're someone who's thinking about making the move to Sacramento, this video, this one right here, is the one you should be watching, because we're going to break down some really important data from last year and this year and show you the direction Sacramento is going. So if you're thinking about buying a home, this is going to be education for you, a little fuel for thought if you are going to be buying, and give you a little bit of a intel on Sacramento in general and what moves you should be making to maybe make the right decision in 2026. All right, guys, hopefully you guys are having a good evening. We're going to get into the show right away. It's been an interesting market. I'd say, and I got some statistics I pulled from the MLS. We're going to do Sacramento County, and we're going to show you guys a little bit of what interesting things I pulled for you tonight. Kind of cool stats, to be honest with you, diving deep. The MLS is very good here in Sacramento. It's easy to pull these stats as well, too, to figure out exactly what's going on with the market. A lot of people dive into it, some people don't, but at the same time, it'll be fun to kind of dive into it and show you guys a little bit more about the market and what's happening. All right, we got Jason, who is first. Jason, thank you, man. We still got to do lunch. Good evening, Mark, and everyone. Hopefully everyone's having a good week so far, and hope you're feeling better, Mark. I am feeling fantastic. And here in Sacramento, what you're looking at is it's been warm. I mean, we've had our moments of a little bit of a chill, getting chillier in the morning, but for the most part, I mean, we're in warm weather already. We're having it's just already there. Supposedly there's a couple days that loom ahead that might be colder, but we're in full and we're back. It's getting warm out here too. And for me, I was sick probably, I would say, all last weekend. Monday I still was bad. Tuesday, and now I feel fantastic and I'm ready to kind of get out there and do my stuff. And I miss the show. I really like talking to people. I love getting a little bit of because before the show, I normally talk to a bunch of realtors, lenders, title people, and I'm always talking to my clients. Always, always, always. Like, for example, Wendy, we were going back and forth about a property she liked. Now for me, we had an experience with a realtor out there who just doesn't really, it doesn't seem like he's really working towards his seller's best interest. And so what you're noticing is a lot of realtors right now too. I would say for you guys, pick the right one. Pick the right person who's going to rep you well, who's going to go to the end of the course. I'm telling you, it's crazy. I mean, and I don't mean to talk about her situation specifically, but it was something I've never really run across. It was the idea that we put in an offer, we went over list. It was the only offer on the table, and the listing agent comes back and says, yeah, clients are going to wait a couple more weeks and we'll get back to you. And for me, it's either the realtor wasn't really relaying exactly how great of an offer and how great of a client I have and how perfect it was. I never have ever seen something like that before. So I would say straight up for you guys, just make sure whoever you're working with can translate really well, can talk to, it doesn't mind reaching out to agents, doesn't mind, really, really good communicator, because in this market, you definitely need it. In fact, the house we have in Rockland that's now in contract, there was a, miscommunication between some of the realtors who were showing it. Some of them showed interest, but they didn't reach out to us and let us know. And then all of a sudden it goes in contract and everyone's kind of flipping out and going, oh my God, why didn't you tell us? It's not really, as a listing agent, it's not really our responsibility to say, oh, hey, we're going into contract. So if you want to, please put in an offer. Especially when it's in a really good house that's going. You need agents who are out there hustling, translating stuff for you, translating is totally wrong, communicating properly to the other agent as well too. Having a good agent who hustles in this market, it's really vital, because this market isn't an easy market right now too. And we're going to go over some stats in a second, but It's not an easy market. I mean, majority of the agents that I know right now, if the thing isn't a slam dunk, they're gone to Cabo for vacation. So you really, really, really got to focus in on people who are willing to kind of go the extra mile for you. Like with Wendy, we go and do video tours all the time to make sure that what she likes is good, and you just gotta kind of find that right person. All right, in recent years, Sacramento native population has been declining. Include those moving to Sac from other counties or state. Here's the thing for me, and I'll say this. A lot of the people that we work with are relos. A lot of people watch this channel and they're relocating in and they're coming in and all this stuff too. So we work with people, like we work with a lot of people from international that come in from other countries, but we also work with people from the Bay Area, Los Angeles, Portland. I mean, I think I've worked with people from every single state, people who actually left California that are moving back to California. So I've moved a whole bunch in. Now, the funny thing is about these new home communities too, they're sprouting up is a lot of people are moving into these new homes and they're a little nervous about community and everything too. But majority of these people in these new home communities are people coming in from other areas. And so it's almost like they're discovering these communities together, which is interesting. So for me, as far as I go, as far as my firsthand experience, I've just been working with people like, left and right, international, national, a lot of Bay Area, a lot of LA, a lot of Portland, a lot of people moving back from Texas, Florida, jobs relocating to a lot of medical professionals because of, Sutter, UC Davis, Shriners, Kaisers and everything too. So I don't know. I've been working with a lot of people moving them in. So, it's fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy, as you guys probably can tell by the show too. I'm a people person. I really enjoy talking to people. I really enjoy going on the phone. And here's the thing. If you guys are, have some questions, maybe you see the show and you're saying like, I want to talk to a realtor, but I don't want to talk to a realtor. If you get what I mean, give me a call. Call me anonymously. You'll never hear again if you don't want to, and I'll answer some questions you have. Without that whole like 5 o'clock, dinner call that will disrupt you and make you feel like you're getting the hardcore press, either sell or buy a home. So that's what we do on our team. All right. If you do that, then my offer goes down. Laugh out loud. I'm telling you something, man. It is crazy right now. I think, because real estate in the last few years was so, I don't want to say easy, but it was so like, there wasn't that big of a divide between what sellers are pricing and what buyers wanted to pay. And it was like easier to communicate. Everyone was on the same page. But normally now when you have a listing agent, they're usually like, and they're pricing something a little higher, they're kind of MIA. And then when you have like a buyer who, who's kind of, maybe I want to buy, maybe I don't. So the communication gap is also a little bit separated between sellers and buyers at this point. It's not as easy as it was before, because it doesn't seem like your buyer's agent and your listing agent are on the same page a lot of times. And so again, I would say you need that realtor, and whether it's me or whether it's somebody else. And guys, there are a ton of good realtors here in Sacramento. You just need someone who is a hustler out there. Like, one of the things I tell people to do is as well, call a realtor. And if they pick up their phone, that's a good sign. And, find someone who's going to pick up the phone, return the call right away, boom, be able to respond to you quick. I'm not a big fan of, if I call someone for something and they don't return my call, or it's been like a while, unless it's at nighttime, I won't work with them. So I would say, understand that right now you want to have someone who is good, who, interview them, but also you need someone who gets back to you almost right away in this market. You guys are the clients. You guys are the ones that we're working with to get you into a house. We're part of your journey, and we should definitely be the ones who are like, responsive, getting out there, customer service and everything too. If you aren't getting that, find someone who definitely does. All right, let's go. Oh man, guys, do me a favor and put your YouTube channel also in the link. I want to show people, my buddy here, Caldwell Banker, he's starting a channel. He's doing pretty good. And he is hot to trot, doing some good videos. So I want to have him throw up his YouTube channel for you guys to check out as well too. I always believe that the more content out there, the better for you guys out there who are looking to relocate. So you can kind of see some houses. You can see some like opinions from other people, telling you exactly how the market is doing and everything too. And I think that that's the best way to do stuff, right? If you're going to buy a house, if you're going to move into the area, watch my videos, but also go see other stuff, see that stuff, and just understand that like, it's up to you to figure out exactly who relates the best to you and taking notes of these different videos, and then, talking to the realtors and seeing like how much of that is legit, how much of that is kind of BS, all that stuff too. And then, the communication on the phone. That's what I would do. All right. However, this population described massively offset for international migration. People move to Sacramento directly from other countries. My bear thesis says that migration has declined, demand declined. Here's the thing, and I'm going to show you guys some stats, which I got some interesting stats for you today. Demand is actually at some of these price points, it's actually better than it was last year. So we're going to get into that. All right, glad I made it. Hey, Derek, glad you made it as well too. Mark with Sacramento, evolving this way. It is. Do you anticipate significant shift in quality inventory over the next 1 to 2 weeks? I'm ready to move when the right property presents itself. I think it is. I think we just got into spring. I think right now, like, March, April, May, they tend to be pretty hot months as well too. I think you're probably going to see just a steady flow of inventory here in the market. The big problem with inventory, not the big problem is pricing, right? And I guess I'll even throw this out, and I'll give him a little love on this one. Video guy Matt mentioned it before. He was like talking about seller pricing, and he called it out also. It is really, really dependent on seller pricing. Some of these graphs I'll show you in a second are very, very, very interesting. And they kind of show that, like, sellers pricing was higher this year, but when they sold, it actually was low. It's interesting. But I do think, sellers really, really need to be, if they're going to sell their house and they really want to sell their home, aggressive pricing is kind of the way to go. For me, I've talked to a lot of people, and I talk to a lot of people who want to sell their homes, and a lot of them are like, yeah, I want top dollar. I want to get this price for my home. And I'm like, this is just not the market for you right now. At this moment, it isn't. I'd follow the rates. And if we ever get close to 6% or even in the high fives, then maybe, let's talk a little bit. But if this is the market where you're saying to yourself, I bought my house 2 years ago for 1.5 million. I want to sell it for 1.6, 1.75. This ain't the market for that. This is a market for people who are basically saying, I want to buy that next house. I know I'm going to have to eat it on the chin a little bit to get that house, but I'm going to have to do it. This is that market of higher interest rates. This is that market of you might not be seeing your perfect inventory on the market. And on the seller side, if you're thinking this is the market where you're going to make a ton of money on your home, unless it's that one of a kind rare house, I'm not seeing it on the market. Even houses, and you see realtors, oh, I got 50 offers, my house. Oh, it's usually aggressive pricing. And even at that highest offer price, a lot of times, the seller was like, oh, I was kind of hoping for a little bit more on that. So that's just the market we're in right now. I am, though, optimistic. I think we're going to see a steady flow of inventory. I think you might see a lot of recycles from last year, but I think you're going to see some new stuff. We got at least 4 or 5 coming up probably within the next couple months, getting them ready to go. And so you're probably going to see some new stuff. I'd say maybe like, I don't know, 50% new stuff, 50% like recycled stuff. And when I say recycled, it's not a bad thing, but it's like, oh my God, that looks familiar. The pictures look different. The description looks different, but it looks kind of familiar. You might see a lot of those popping on the market as well too. So it'll be interesting. And again, price is going to be huge, because here's the thing about pricing as well too in our market. And this is why in our market, resale pricing is so important, because you're also competing against all these new homes. So a lot of people like let's say you get a realtor out there and they're like, hey, here's a CMA and this is what we should price at, yada, yada. Still doesn't factor in all the new homes they're selling. All the people that are saying to themselves, you know what, I'm looking here, but I'm also looking in West Roseville for a new home. I'm also looking in Rancho. They've got incentives. They've got buy downs. They've got great houses, great prices. So you remember in our market, because we have so many new home communities in like Elk Grove, Rancho, Roseville, Rockland, West Sacramento, Vineyard. I mean, all these spots, that those also factor in a lot of times to a house if it's getting listed and it doesn't have aggressive pricing and it goes out there and people are like, I'm not understanding why it isn't selling. Well, because maybe 10 minutes away, you got Taylor Morrison who's selling same square footage of a home, lower price point, and they're giving like a 4.99 interest rate, and they're not factoring those into the comps as well too. So just be aware and understand that hopefully if you list your home, you're doing some aggressive pricing. The market's going to sell your house for what the market is going to sell your house for. It's like anything else. Like if you see something on the shelves and there's only one of them and they're at a low price, you're going to get a million people in the store trying to buy it. That's kind of how I look at it. And right. So nearly all the new units have been absorbed absorbed international demand. We know many more units are on the horizon, no more international migration to absorb the new units. I mean, it'll be interesting. Maybe what's it called? Maybe we'll throw up some stats on that in the next one. I just think for me, the way I'm looking at it right now, this year, and I said this like, what was it in December? I was like, unless something weird happens with Jerome Powell, I think this year is kind of going to be somewhat the same of last year. I think last year, the only thing that we really had last year was we had a strong December, end of December, January, and before the Super Bowl, we had a banner couple like months there that we didn't have this year. But now what I'm seeing this March is actually better than it was last year, and we'll get into that in a second. All right. Jason, thanks, man. If you guys are enjoying this as well too, hit the like button, ask your questions as well too. That's what this is here for. That's what this live is all about. And one of the main reasons why I do this live, as opposed to just doing these market updates, every like once a month and everything too, is you could run into a market update that's like 5 years old that someone did, and then they're telling you can get a house in Folsom for $300,000. So I like this one because this is real-time stuff. And my team, I've got like 5 people on the team. We cover all the Sacramento County, Placer County. We got Yolo. We got El Dorado County. So we're kind of everywhere. We do a lot of new homes, luxury, first-time home buyers. So we cover a lot of territory in the Sacramento area. So if someone's going to give you a good vantage point, that's probably going to be our team, because that's kind of what we deal with day in, day out. I mean, we got a couple of listings right now that are going, one that's sitting, a very good luxury house that's sitting. We have a couple like single family homes that are coming up, and we're thinking about where to price them as well too. We have some buyers looking for new homes. We have some buyers looking for resale homes. We have some buyers looking in the pocket, some buyers looking in Rockland, Grant Bay. So we have these conversations all day, which allows me to basically, when I get on this live show, give you a little bit of an idea of what I'm actually seeing out there too. It's not always perfect, but it's basically me unpacking my week. What's up, Mark? Sergio, how you doing? I think Sergio is throwing up one of the best houses. I think, Sergio, you said in May you're going to be throwing up that house in Davis. So in May. So I'm looking forward to that. Also, if your realtor throws me up some photos, I'll promote it on this live. Sergio is listing a house in Davis. Now, here's a kicker, right? Everybody knows Davis, whether you love it, hate it, whatever. Davis is, because of, everything in Davis. Davis is super hot, right? Davis is a sizzling market. He is listing a house, a single family home in Davis that is going to be listed, I think, if I can remember right, under $1 million. Really nice house, close to schools, such a beautiful house. So Sergio, my brother, I think your house is going to go. I think it's going to go crazy, and I'm really, really looking forward to seeing how fast you sell it. And then we're going to put you into your dream house in West Roseville. So I'm looking forward to that. Also, I miss talking to you, so I'll probably hit you up this week. I'm feeling a little bit better as well. All right. Love the new look, Mark. Hey, you're Dr. Stylish of real estate. Hey, man, I'm trying. It was so funny. My video person was like, you look like a hipster. I'm like, I am so far from a hipster. It's not even funny. But again, guys, one of the things I really do believe about real estate in general is that I think that I'm in an industry right now where I see a lot of people wearing like, shorts, flip-flops, and t-shirts, and showing houses and everything too. And while I get it, I mean, I love shorts, I love flip-flops and everything too. But, I'm old school. Like for me, when I went to job interviews, I dressed up nice. Half the time I wore ties, suits, and everything too to these jobs interviews. And so what for me, I want to do and represent that is when I work with anyone too, or when I do my show or whatnot, I want to show you guys also a level of respect that I'm doing. And that's kind of why I do dress up. It's because like, I look at it when we meet each other, when you see me on the live show, it's almost like a job interview where I'm saying to yourself, like, this is me. I'm not going to have that weird hat that kind of goes this way where I have a t-shirt that says hustle. That's just not what I do. What I do is I throw out a professional brand for you guys, because if I'm going to help you either attain one of the most expensive purchases you've ever made in your home or help you sell one, like I need to come correct. And so that's kind of how I like to be. I like to be very much like professional in that manner. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. All right. Hope the interest rate drops. Still too high for me to sell and upgrade. I know we're going to be getting your String Brothers home one of these days. I promise. All right. As a seller, how's the month of May looking for your past experience? I think Davis, May, I think you're going to be flying. I think it's good. I think just market like crazy, market that house like crazy. Give me a little bit of a video too, and I'll throw it on this channel. I think you're going to be doing great. I think for you now, West Roseville's opening up. You got Placer One, JMC's building some amazing homes out there as well too. I think finding you a home is going to be really, really fun. I think, you know, you and your wife are going to just love it. Love it. Tell her, Mr. Boom says hello. So it's so funny. You got that so in my head. Anytime I say boom and any type of video, I'm thinking of you. So hope all is well too. And we'll touch base maybe this week with you as well. All right. Davis is too far from my work and expensive. See, and that's the thing though. And Sergio, that's the thing. That's what people think. Not the far from work for people who live in Davis, but it's expensive. Everyone loves Davis, you know? And so I think you're good. I think if you were, you know, I think you're good. I do like Davis. Went to UCD years ago. Go Aggies. Aggies, man. All right. Love it. Went to UCLA myself. Don't think, yeah, Davis is pretty awesome though. Nikki from my team went there. Are there any new builds in Rancho Cordova that have an option for a longer driveway? Let me think. Okay. The only longer driveway that I have seen, if I'm correct, okay, let me think. I've seen some, I think Keha Reserve, maybe Tri-Point Bloom. It's just hard. I mean, the long driveway is kind of like, it's so hard to find. What was it? I think I did see some in Rancho though. Where did I see these ones? I was looking at Rancho, and I think maybe Beezer had one that had like, you know, you could put a car, but then you also had like maybe 6 feet as well. There are some in Rancho, but it's just also dependent on the house that you're getting as well, the house style. Yeah, hit me up. And I think I have I just got to remember a little bit more because I know I've seen houses in Rancho that do. It's just hard to. Rancho is like, if you're looking for a little bit of a longer driveway, I would say look in Anatolia at some of the older homes there. I know it's not ideal, but at the same time, those are the ones that are going to have a little bit more of a longer driveways. I'm just trying to like rack my brain because I know, and it was before I got my flu and whatever, but I did see a couple that had a little bit extra of a driveway. Let me see if I can think about it. And then if you want to just text, you can do anonymous text and say, hey, long driveways. And I'll see if I can remember which ones I saw. But there are a few out there. It also is floor plan specific. What I notice is that if you can look at the floor plans and if you look at the models, some of them will have kind of like the front. You know what I mean? The front will be a little bit closer to the sidewalk, and then the driveway will be a little bit further back. So some of the floor plans do cater to that. I just can't remember the floor plan. So I apologize for that. All right. Boom. All right. All right, Rachel, how are you doing? Thanks for showing us Ranch. I was just thinking about you because that when we went out there and we saw there were a couple of houses that had longer driveways. I remember that. Okay. Thanks again for showing us Rancho option. Wish we jumped on 3.75 interest rate a few weeks ago. Interest rates are turning us away for a few weeks. You know, here's the thing, and I'm going to tell you something. Even some of the hotter communities in Rancho, I'm getting reach outs, you know, I'm saying, hey, you know, if you're looking to get on the waiting list, even Willow in Rancho, I don't want to say they're hurting just yet, but they're actually reaching out and saying, if you want to get on the wait list. I do think right now the new homes are a little bit in trouble. And my gut tells me that probably if things don't pick up, probably within the next week or two, you probably could see those buy downs happen still. So I would hang in there. I would really, really hang in there. The weirdest thing about new homes is I think they expected that, you know, March, April, May was just going to be crazy. And March wasn't that great for them. I think April was a little slow. I mean, some select communities in March, I think they're hurting a little bit. And I think you could see those incentives come back. Now, another thing too, is what you notice is that after summer's over in New Homeville, what you normally see is around October, you see a lot of great buy downs happen in October as well too. I know you can't wait till then, but that's what you see. But, you know, like I said, we'll touch base, and if something does pop up, I'll let you know. I would stick close to Maria. She's a hustler, and if you told her that, you know, hey, 3.75 is really what I'm aiming for, the second it comes in the door, she'll let you know. All right. Sergio, for sure. All right. Love Davis, despite how crazy the overall population is, still would be an awesome place to live. Yeah. And, you know, even Video Guy Matt is saying that. Video Guy Matt is like the hardest person to get in there. But come on, Video Guy Matt. Under $1 million in Davis, close to schools. I mean, that's kind of a rare that right there to find. Yeah, Davis is a good, safe, and fun college town if and it's not if not so expensive. Yeah, and that's the thing. I love the farmers market out there. Oh, there we go. Okay. Perfect. Thank you, Rachel to the rescue. Okay, so hopefully, Jessica, you're still there. But yeah, Richmond were the homes that had longer driveways. I was blanking again. Still, I just got off the day cool yesterday, so I'm trying my best. All right, Lennar has been cutting prices like crazy the last few weeks, which means the other builders are likely doing more incentives to hide price reductions. Yeah, Lennar, man, Lennar. I mean, Lennar is just almost like single-handedly messing up our entire market. They're starting at East Ridge, and like we talked about this last week, at 1.1 million up at East Ridge, right? Which I think is just a complete brain free. Like, what are they doing? 1-1 in El Dorado Hills is a little slow at this moment as well too. And then their community over, what was it, Grant Bay, the one by the golf course, that one's sitting and they're already cutting prices. They're not even letting these communities marinate a little bit before they start cutting prices. Now, what does that do? That basically, like what Matt is saying, once Lennar starts cutting prices, everyone is playing catch up. Everyone is playing catch up to these prices. And Lennar's ruthless when it comes to cutting. When they start cutting, they cut. What I mean by that is if you go to Lennar one day and you get a house for $700,000, they literally could sell that exact same house, floor plan, style, and everything too, the next day for $650. So just be wary. All right. Wow, EDH was so expensive and far from everything. I would hate the commute to work from out there. Yeah, I know. Although, guys, what are you guys thinking about the 50? I mean, the 50 is looking a whole lot better than it was before. Was I right? Is the 50 going to be done this year? I think it could be, which is amazing. That'd be great for the 50 to be done because I guarantee you it's gotten so bad that I have clients specifically that are like, we want to be nowhere close to the 50. Move us to the 80. All right, let's get into some stats. Got some fun stats from you guys. Okay, so this is March this year compared to last year. So as far as for sales, we have more inventory. There's more houses for sale that were, on the market last month as compared to a year from March or, March 2025. So our sold homes, we're edging it out just a little bit and we have more houses sold in March and more houses went pending. Now, if you notice the pending and the solds, a little bit of a difference there. We are seeing right now in the market that a lot of people are like, I don't know if it's FOMO or something, but a lot of people are pulling the trigger, getting into contract, and then bailing out. I don't know why this is going on, but I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, oh my God, this house popped on the market. I got to get it. And they get it. And then they're like, do I really want this house? It seemed kind of too easy. Maybe I made a mistake. And so you're seeing a lot of people. It happened for me, Rustic, up in Folsom. I had two people in contract, bailed out. And so, I think a lot of people are suffering from that too. A lot of people are just pulling the trigger and then a couple days later, they're like, yeah, they're done. Nervous. I think people are getting a little nervous right now with the economy being in a war. I think people want to keep their money handy, and I don't blame them. I mean, you go to the gas station and, if we went up to $10 a gallon, I wouldn't be surprised. So I think a lot of people are very nervous. A lot of people see interest rates like, going up. They're wondering if in the future they're going to go down. So there is that. But yeah, pendings, and you see people just falling out of contract. All right, what do we got here? We got pricing. All right, average pricing. Now, this is where it gets very interesting. If you notice this too, okay, like here's the average active pricing. So you have this year, the average pricing was higher than last year, right? So that means people are listing actually this year higher than they were last year. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Their sold pricing is less, and the median sold pricing is less. So their listing may be higher than last year, but we're seeing the reductions happen quicker and then people are jumping on them and closing. That I find very, very interesting. At least sellers aren't kind of sticking to their guns and, August, September, they're reducing prices. So I think that we're seeing very much like, realtors going in there and saying, look, we can try selling your house for that couple weeks. If it's not working, let's put that thing down and see if we can sell it. And I do think people are coming in with offers that are lower, maybe the only offer, and all of a sudden, boom. So it's interesting right now. Let's get some more questions. All right. Scary time. Absolutely. I think right now people are feeling nervous. People want to keep their money handy. Normally in war times, what ends up happening is people, one of the safest things to invest your money is bonds. And so, that tends to help interest rates. But we're seeing people keep their money handy, and who could blame anyone? I mean, everyone wants to keep money handy because of gas prices, because of groceries, just because feeling liquid feels a little more secure in this type of atmosphere. Okay, well, our online real estate sites like Zillow and Movado showing accurate and price home values way lower than actually market comps. Well, number one is they're trying to get you to fill out a form, and so it'll end up going to like some kind of Zillow team or whatnot. I would say also, here's one of the things they don't kind of fathom. At times, like let's say your mom sells a house to you and it's it sells it for a lower price, it goes out there and then it all of a sudden brings the comps in the area down. Sometimes also what you're noticing is because there's not a lot of sales happening on the market, they'll pull in comps from other areas that aren't that community. Maybe you're living in a community that's like all $1 million homes, but like I don't know, maybe like 1,000 feet away or something, there's some houses that are a lower price point. They'll bring those into the comps as well too. It's very much AI. It's very much like there's no accuracy a lot of times about CMAs, and they change all the time. If you look at a house on Zillow one day and then all of a sudden a couple of things close, you go there the next week, it changes and it fluctuates. That's why for us, when everyone asks us, yeah, you want to list our house or you want to come out here and talk about it, we're always like, I got to go out there. I got to look and see exactly for myself what your house is like. I have to gauge the open houses. I have to gauge the area. Because if you're looking at Zillow and that's your source of something, that is the worst thing to possibly do. You need someone to go out there and say, okay, what upgrades, like when was the last time a house sold here? How many days on the market? Price per square foot? How popular is your floor plan against the other floor plans in the area? Where is your house located? Is it a corner lot? Is it close to a park? Do you have an extra big lot? All those things are things that Zillow doesn't factor in. So if you are going to sell, go with a realtor and if you get a realtor that can do a CMA over the phone and give you pricing, run fast. CMAs are tough. And there's still no guarantee that you're going to get pricing right. But if a person needs to go out there to gauge your house, see the activity of stuff that's been closing, open house activity, other floor plans that have sold just like yours in the last like 3 or 4 months, all those things really, really factor in. All right, to the next. In fact, just relisted yesterday. Check it out. Lennar has listed at 775, sold to these guys for, that's the deal I want. I don't know. I mean, Lennar, a lot of people right now, look towards Lennar for those deals. I mean, do you remember that community that they had in Folsom on the Hill? It was some like, Diamond Peak, Sterling, something or another. Those homes, all of a sudden they did the same thing, slash. And those homes like went quick. The funniest part though about those homes is they look like giant boxes a little bit on the hill, but they sold, good pricing. You're in Folsom, you got views. So Lennar is its own beast for sure. All right. Oil and defense war stocks are doing well. Wish I had bought more. XOM years ago, 40 now over. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Hey, don't feel bad. I knew literally, what was it? The 12th person at Google was a friend of mine. And I don't even want to go into the story. It will make all you guys cry. Okay. How do your conversions go with sellers agents who are out of the area, especially agents who are out of touch with the comps, i.e. Bay Area selling agents who try and argue bad comps in Sacramento? I mean, first of all, you start kind of naming streets, areas, floor plans. It just, they won't, a lot of times when I talk to them, they just don't even entertain the conversation because they don't know what they're talking about. It's just hard, right? The only place that I would feel very like comfortable doing it myself would be like Marin, because I grew up there, and still at that point, Marin has changed. You can't, it's hard. It's really, really hard for someone to sell a house or even to work with a buyer trying to buy a house in an area they don't know. For me, it's, it's just frustrating. And it's just like you're kind of speaking to the wall, they just don't really get it. The other thing too is when you deal with Bay Area agents, and I have a lot of agents, friends of mine that I really, really like. Bay Area agents, LA agents that do representation or sell stuff here come in with this humongous chip on their shoulder. It's almost like, you're Sacramento. Yeah. And I'm the chip on the shoulder sometimes makes it a little hard to communicate as well too. But for me, at times, if a seller is, let's say a seller is coming in or someone's selling their home and they're using a Bay Area agent, it just doesn't work well. Okay, case in point, the Rustic Ridge house I had, that's in contract right now, was listed by a Bay Area agent first. And the Bay Area agent had it for, I think it was like 6 months, 8 months, something like that. And they didn't do any open houses. They brought in, I remember I went to like one open house because they had an agent at Redfin come in to do it. They didn't know the area. They didn't know how to comp. They didn't even know offers. They were very arrogant too when people were submitting offers towards them. And they said basically this on the phone: if you don't get us at least list price, don't bother submitting offers. So you have that as well too. I would say for people who are trying to save a penny and going with an agent out of like, the area, you're going to hurt yourself at the end. I mean, might as well even just like, if you're hurting and you're saying like, I want to just find a realtor in the area that'll do it for like a lower commission, flat rate realtor. I would rather have that than someone from the Bay Area work a listing with me or for me. All right. All right. That's why a great pro like you, hey, I appreciate it. So we're having our terrible experience with Redfin agents. Yeah. And a lot of times what you'll see with Redfin agents is, I don't think they're salaried anymore, but a lot of people went there for like the steady salary. And, I'd say the thing is, real estate is funny. I mean, it's a little scary. There's, you have to hustle and you have to have some stuff in the queue and you have to wake up in the morning and you have to just go. Unless maybe you're like an EXP agent where you have this huge downline and you really don't care that much. But in real estate, you have to go. Like for me, I'm up at 6 a.m. If I don't have stuff in the queue, I have to deal with this, but it really does make you sharp because you're always practicing your skills day in, day out. And if you have that moment where you're doing, or you have a slow day, it is really gets your head and you really start figuring out ways to not make it a slow day. And I think that all those things help you really, really hone in your craft, right? I think also when you can kind of turn a slow day into a busy day and make things happen. If you have a listing where it's not getting any activity, you have that kind of mindset where you can apply it to that as well too. Or at least that's what I see. All right. Ooh, Lennar, build quality, beware. A lot of lawsuits on faulty construction. Caveat input. Yeah, I would say this for anyone looking at any builder. Look at the builder, but also look at the area. All communities are created different. Just because there's different superintendents, crews, and everything too. But I would definitely go to Reddit. Reddit is huge now for reviews as well too. And just see what you're getting into. All right. Let me see. Jason, Lennar just slashed prices again at Diamond Oaks, laugh out loud. They would just get rid of the HOA. Those things would sell fast. I know. Here's what I was thinking that would be hilarious. I mean, like, if Lennar, let's say Lennar came out and said, you know what? We're gonna do something interesting. We're gonna be the only builder in the Sacramento area that actually has no Mellorews. We do not have Mellorews at our communities. Can you imagine that type of marketing right there too? That would be absolutely crazy. Yes, it would cost them a little bit, but at the same time, that marketing right there would just be amazing. But yeah, they wouldn't do that. Alart, hey Ben, how you doing, my friend? Lennar is doing Lennar things. They lose money in the front end. But their lender is Lennar, their title is Lennar, their solar is Lennar. I mean, Lennar, yeah. Everything's Lennar. They make money on the back end. They move units. I know. Yeah, Lennar is so bottom line driven. Tough thing about them is you may buy a house at X price, but there are absolutely no guarantees. They won't sell the exact same plan. Home plan, 100K or less. Someone else, good luck selling their home after. Yeah, that's one thing also. And, I was talking about North Lake last week as well too. I mean, some of these communities, they just kind of leave like, just not completed. And when I was talking about an eyesore, I didn't mean, if you guys own a community North Lake, I think North Lake, if they've completed, I think it'll be a nice community. The only thing for me is that as far as an eyesore, what I was referring to is that, like, if you're going to start a community, like, finish it up. finish it because you owe it to the people that you started selling to, like what, 4 years ago, to finish up the community completely, get the trees growing in, get the water built, get that community atmosphere there. And for you not to do it, I would be really, really annoyed. All right. Hey, when people here use an out of area agent, they don't even put it on our local metro list we use here. Yeah, okay, Jason, that's a huge one too. A lot of agents don't really get that too. A lot of them put it on the wrong metro list. They mess up the stuff. Sometimes it doesn't even appear in Zillow, and they just don't get it. They just do everything kind of half. You know what? And yeah, I would never use a Bay Area agent to list. And I also have, oh my God, this is the worst. And Jason's probably going to get this as well too. I have listings sometimes where I get calls from Bay Area agents. Hey, is there any way you can open up the house for me to show my clients? I'm like, well, don't you have the key? They don't have the key to our metro list as well too. And so they're asking you if you can go over there and open the house so they can show their clients the house. That's the buyer's agent's responsibility. So yeah, it just, drives me nuts. All right. House on my block is for sale by a Bay Area agent for under market, which is kind of annoying. Does nobody good. They don't know the micro market. Now, they don't know the micro market. They don't know how to like gauge anything. It's not a good move. Why does Lennar Diamond Oaks even have Melrose? The area is already fully developed. Okay, that's a whole nother video. For me, I'm always like, some of those communities also that were built like downtown Sacramento, I was like Crocker Village. I was like, why are we doing Melrose here? I don't even understand that. Yeah. Some of these communities, it'd be nice to really have someone look into that. All right. FWA, every single new build community has a workmanship lawsuit against it since the early 2000s. Every single one. Lawyers being lawyers cost us all more money. You know, I would say take a look at CY. He's awesome. He actually does all these new home inspections. He's got this Instagram account. Be weary, but, you know, he's interesting. All right. Bam, what Ben said. Yeah, Ben's correct. And Ben is one of those guys too, and I'll give Ben a lot of love on this one. Whenever I bring my clients and he's working like at Meritage and everything too, he just lays out the facts. That's it. There's no sell. And a lot of new home people are just like sell. Ben is probably the most chill. I'd say, like, I have my favorites, of course. I got Ben, his wife Lacey, really nice as well too, and she's selling the downtown community by Beezer. Shig over at Taylor Morrison, who's just a wealth of information. I love the idea when people educate as opposed to sell, and Ben's definitely top of that list. All right, exactly. Jason Smith on Diamond Oaks, one street info hookup. Hey, I get it. I wish some people would write about that too. All right, let's see if I can get some more. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can get some more stats for you guys too. All right, here we go. And then we got days of the market. All right, days of the market. We got higher days of the market this year on both cumulative and just regular days on the market, which is interesting. So things are sitting a little longer, but again, they're selling and they're moving. So March, in my opinion, is doing a lot better than we saw last year, which is interesting. Now, as far as what type of market, and this is Sacramento County, by the way, our entry level in Sacramento has always been our bread and butter. It's been first-time home buyers, people looking for that house, people coming in from other areas and saying, you know what, I want a house, right? I'd say the, entry level is probably like up to 650. We're really, really strong. Then we got the mid-range also of like maybe 650 to $1 million. That market is just hurting. It's actually bringing down our entire market. Then our luxury market, which, everyone's got opinions on it, $1 million and above, is just going so strong. It's unbelievable how this is doing. I mean, it's exploding over $1 million. Over $1 million is just taking off as far as sales, price points, and everything too. So our market, a lot of people are going to say, you know what, like Sacramento, the real estate market is slow, interest rates are high. But what you're noticing right now too is a lot of the people buying in the $1 million and up range, we're talking $1, $2, $3 million. They're the ones who don't really care about interest rates. They're the ones who are like, I got cash, or I'm not really that worried about what I'm paying. I want what I want. And you really, really are seeing how crazy it is as far as that goes. Again, entry level, under 700K, we've always been pretty solid in that market, and it's decent. It's doing what it should, right? What it does almost every kind of year. It's going higher and it's increasing little by little. The move up market, again, 7K to a mil. It's okay. It's not great. It's kind of like just it's doing all right. But where we're really, really doing some crazy stuff is a luxury piece of it. I mean, some houses, of course, some luxury houses sit, some luxury houses that may be overpriced, some luxury houses that might have funky floor plans are going to be sitting, yes. But what we're seeing now more than ever before in the Sacramento area is that, especially in the Sacramento County, areas like Folsom, areas like even OG schools, like, the Pocket, even like Fair Oaks, even Carmichael Palm Drive. I mean, we're seeing a lot of luxury properties just go. Now, one caveat that I am noticing it myself is the fact that when a person buys a luxury home, now this includes also areas in Placer like Grant Bay, East Roseville, and everything too. What I'm seeing more than not is people do not want fixtures. They want to move right in. They want the fairy tale. They want that MTV Cribs type of home. And they're getting them. A lot of these homes that we're seeing right now, these builds are just phenomenal. People are moving in. East Sacramento is on fire as well too. So let's talk a little bit about this. What are we seeing? Entry level. Okay, for sale, this is March to March, right? We're up. That's not bad. But this is normally like our bread and butter, and this is kind of what we do. And these also, the statistics I'm giving you do not include new homes. So if you add new homes to the entry level is very, very strong. And again, it is kind of the bread and butter that we have here in Sacramento. It's been that way for a long, long time. And, for a lot of people, $700,000, is still a high price tag for me as well. But at the same time, I'm going to say that as far as if you combine what people are looking at coming in from the Bay, Los Angeles, out of state, and people looking locally, this is kind of what I would say would be kind of more of our entry level. Still strong, still doing well, and this doesn't even factor in the new homes. Again, here we go. Now, this is the move-up market. Again, it is just sales are down, inventory is a little bit up. And buyers are hesitating. This is the market that I'm telling you guys that a lot of people are pulling triggers. A lot of people are bailing out of the homes that they're in contract for. This is the market that is really, really kind of weighing Sacramento County down. And this is the market we kind of got to work on a little bit, the move up buyer. Now, what do I see in this area? I see a lot of people who are actually in this market right now too, and they are in 2.75s. So for them to make the move up, they're still thinking to themselves, I'm still going to have to pay. I'm still not 100% sure I really want to do this move up yet, just yet. Interest rates still seem high, and they're very hesitant on making this happen. And then all of a sudden, we got the luxury market. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah. More houses for sale, more houses pending, more houses sold. I mean, it is surging, and this is becoming one of the strongest market segments in Sacramento County, probably El Dorado Hills, Placer County as well too. It's just it's the new hot sizzling market. A lot of people are moving here from the Bay, Los Angeles, other spots in the United States as well too, and they're wanting that dream home, not a fixer, but a dream home. And that market is really, really going kind of crazy. And this is March last year comparatively towards March this year. Has a lot changed? Not so much. I mean, even rates are even higher than they were, I think, last year right now. And so, what we're seeing right now is that this market is really, really kind of becoming the leader in our area. And it'll be interesting to see how this plays out with all the new things that are coming to Sacramento, with all like the Topgolfs, surf parks, all these new builders are building as well too in other areas like Shawwood building like what's in Loomis, West Roseville, in Lincoln, Toll Brothers building in West Sacramento, Rancho Marietta, Tim Lewis also building in some other areas. I mean, our market is really, really changing, guys. It's going to be crazy. Now let's get to rates. Now, as we saw a little bit of a dip, which is nice. And it's kind of going a little closer towards like 6%. Still got a long way to go. And a lot of people are hoping that hopefully when Jerome Powell leaves office or even beforehand, the bond market's going to erupt favorably. Now, it'll be interesting to see. But as I see this year, and as I said before, I see it as kind of the same thing as we saw in 2025. I'm seeing right now, yes, we have a little bit better of a March than we had last year, but I'm still seeing a lot of buyer hesitation. I'm seeing a lot of listings that even out the gate, the pricing is higher than the price should be, and then it's dropping a little bit. Yes, it's eventually moving, but I think sellers, if they really want this market to go, I think if sellers really want to sell their homes, aggressive pricing is definitely the key to getting things moving in this market. Again, if you're selling your house for, let's say, if you want $1.3 million for your house, and your realtor is telling you, you know what, let's list it at 1.25, right? If you don't get to that 1.3 and that's what you want, you don't really even have to accept the offers below that. Understand this. It's mainly to get the market to basically accept your house, get the open houses going, getting people in the doors, and then it's up to your realtor to do the rest. All right, let's get some questions and I'll let you guys go for the night. I think I did pretty good though, considering that I had the flu up till maybe about Monday, and I'm good for you guys. So if you guys have any questions, let's get in there a little bit more, and let's go to some more questions before we get back in there. All right. Diamond Oaks hasn't had a single home sale since the price drops. Only 5 total are reserved. And I'd have to think those buyers will consider losing their deposits and walking due to the price drops. Yeah, I would too. Another thing that Lennar needs to do going forward is they need to be a little bit more sympathetic, a little more working with clients with these price drops. I would think it would be, and I know they're up for taking the deposits, but I think that, like, at the end of the day, if they work with some of these clients and, maybe start reducing the prices a little bit and work with them, they could get that community up and rolling. It's just that they're not really good that way. They're like a machine. Lose your deposit, it's okay, we'll throw the house back on the market. And they're not really thinking in the long run. So I don't know. It's a shame if people do lose their deposits. All right. NGL, if they didn't have HOA, I'd consider buying one since I like the area. Yeah, I know. Great area too. All right, here we go. All right, to our Disneyland-inspired mansion, Fair Oaks. I do like the house, great details and awesome layouts. We had a pro and con. A lot of people were like, this doesn't look like Disneyland. For me, I like the fact that it was a different type of house inside that I'd seen before. I think the details were amazing in this house. And I love the idea that, people are bringing their ideas to life in these custom homes. I think that that's awesome. For me, I saw this house. I saw it at the end of a cul-de-sac, beautiful, detailed out. And guess what? It already is in contract. I think that's what Ada told me. So, all right. Better value for electricity. Roseville Electric is probably one of the cheapest in California. I would say whether you go with Roseville Electric or whether you go with SMUD, you will be smiling from ear to ear. PG&E, I mean, there's even a Netflix show about PG&E and how negative they are. So I would just say for you guys, SMUD, Roseville Electric, it's just crazy how much you're going to be able to save. All right. Opinion on Elk Grove currently, everything below 7K looks 90. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Okay, so here's what I would say about Elk Grove specifically. Elk Grove's always been a competitive market. Under $700,000 in Elk Grove, that is where the market shines, especially in the 757. Elk Grove's always been that market where, like, before it was like 450s, 550s, but now, 700 and under, maybe 615 under. That's where Elk Grove is just like crazy, like people getting houses out there. Elk Grove stuff always flies. Now, the area that Elk Grove hurts in is the bigger square footage homes that are resale, right? Because a lot of people are liking the Drake. They like Tim Lewis out there as well too. New home companies building some great homes. And so if you really want to get a good deal for a resale home in Elk Grove, I'm always saying, get the bigger homes and then do a remodel. But again, with you're hitting the nail on the head. And this is what so many buyers are running into. They're like, okay, look, we found a house in Elk Grove. We love Elk Grove. We want to buy this house, but we're going to have to put so much money into this house. We have a high interest rate. Why wouldn't we pivot to Taylor Morrison? Why wouldn't we pivot to Tim Lewis, New Home Company, Beazer, or whatnot too? There's so many options. And myself, I don't really get it. If it was me and I was looking at a house in Elk Grove, even in their amazingly competitive price point of like 450s to like 700, I would still be going new home all day long. I'd be looking at Taylor for sure, Madera Meadows or Madera Greens, one of the Maderas. I'd be looking at probably Tim Lewis too. I think Tim Lewis is still building out there. I'd be looking at also New Home Company Arbor. For me, I think that that's a no-brainer, but there's something about Elk Grove that people just love the resales. They just love that price point between 450 and 700 resale. And it's just never been a market that has really slowed down. Again, the higher price point resales, they've slowed down for sure. 450, 700, it's just, I don't know. And yeah, you are right. They're completely dated. They have that like Brady Bunch kind of wood finish. A lot of times they're small square footage as well too. You're like looking at a house for like $700,000 and it's like maybe 2,200 square feet. I don't know. For me, if I was looking in Elk Grove, I'd be looking at new homes all day long. Although the incentives in Elk Grove aren't great, not compared to like a ranch or West Roseville. That's where I'd go. But yeah, I don't know. Elk Grove has always been like that in that price point. It's just always been super competitive. It is Fantasy Land Islands for sure. Love the unique home. Yeah, unique homes. I mean, for me, I think one of the things that Sacramento needs to focus on, and hopefully more builders will come out here and do this. I want to see new elevations. I don't want to just see luxury farmhouse, craftsman, Tuscan, Spanish. I'd love to see some new stuff, new colors, mix it up a little bit. Again, I'd love to see longer driveways. I'd love to see more space between the homes as well too. All those things I think Sacramento needs to do, or Sacramento's going to really, really look identical no matter where it is, like Roseville, like Rancho, like West Sacramento. I think that some of these communities really, really need to step it up and set themselves apart. Hopefully in the near future, we get that. All right. All right. Can you help me buy a home in Rancho Marietta? Absolutely. I like Rancho Marietta. I know people are going to laugh, but Rancho Marietta for me also has a little bit of a bodega kind of vibe out there too. Yeah. Hit me up, Derek. We'll talk a little Rancho Marietta. All right. Another nice thing about Vista Oaks, Toll Brothers, no HOA. Either have Melrose or HOA, but not both. Yeah, Melrose, what is it, like in the 600s? I mean, that isn't bad. HOAs, you got a little 80 noise, you got bigger backyard, you got views. I like that community better than I like Toll Brothers in Folsom, so yeah, I like that community. You're right. All right, we toured the Shawwood model homes and mentioned your name as to how we knew about it. Everyone seems to know you. Hopefully they said nice things. I'm sure you talked to like Cameron or someone out there too. They're nice at Shawwood. I would say though, one thing, what you notice at Shawwood, and really nice sales team over there too. I think they're all in unison. They're like, we should not have built these homes near the 50. The 50's killing them right now too. I think the home styles are great. I really, really like, they almost look like 3D printed houses, I think the houses are awesome. I think just the location by the 50 wasn't a good place to put those homes. But I like the floor plans. I think they're the best build quality that I've seen in the Sacramento area. I think they're amazing. So I think I'm waiting for their new community to pop up in West Roseville. I think then there's one in Loomis and one in Lincoln, but I think they're going to give Toll Brothers a real run for their money. And I would say right now, as far as like build quality, I mean, Tim Lewis has some all-star ones like Magnolia, but I'd say if you're looking for like the heavy hitters right now, you're probably looking at like Shawwood is right there. I would say, what is it? Shawwood, Toll Brothers, Tim Lewis, Magnolia, and not all Tim Lewis for me. I would say who else would I be looking at? I like Double S by Anthem. I think that's a great community as well too. So I think what we're seeing is, and like what I was saying before with $1 million luxury price point and people, that market is really exploding. I think that's why Toll Brothers is building so many communities in the area. I think that's why Shawwood is expanding because they do see the numbers and they see a lot of people moving in that are looking for homes over $1 million. And that's probably what you're going to see a lot in our Sacramento market in the near future. All right. Is Bucket a good area for resale homes? I just like older homes much better. Yeah. Okay. I like the Pocket for resale. I think it's good. The only thing about the Pocket is that the only thing that worries me about the Pocket is the fact that there's such few homes available because there's only, there's not that many homes in the Pocket. A lot of times I wonder if it's just a basic concept of supply and demand because some of these comps, I mean, I see a house, it goes for like it's selling for 1.3 million. And I'm looking at the history of the home. I'm looking for the price per square footage in the area, and it's just not making a whole lot of sense. So I'd say some of these areas like the Pocket, what else? I'd say like, Arden Park, some of these areas where you just have one house pop up and you can't comp it outright, just make sure you're doing your research really, really well because eventually inventory is going to come back. And what happens to you if you bought it just based on supply and demand, and then all of a sudden there's more inventory in that area? What does that do to your, return on investment? Right. That Shawwood single story is yeah. Shawwood, the single story, I'm so looking forward to the floor plans they're going to throw down in those other communities. All right, thoughts on the upcoming East Ridge community in El Dorado Hills. For me, I think, I think starting at 1-1 is a huge mistake. I think that it's going to probably slow down a little bit. Location wise, I think it's pretty good. I mean, it's above Blackstone. But I think starting at 1-1, I think that's what I heard the pricing starts at. I haven't been out there, but I've heard people tell me. I think that's for Lennar 1-1. I don't see it, especially in the market we're in right now too. Especially with the luck that they've had at where Diamond over, Grant Bay. I don't see it. I don't think I don't see that. And that's not typical Lennar. Here, Lennar built that community. What was it? In El Dorado Hills, I forget what it was called, Emerald something or another. And what they did is they started selling those things really, really they started high really, and then they dropped it down to the 800s, and then they unloaded a lot of inventory. So for them to start at 1-1 and not have plans to cut prices, that would worry me a little bit. And maybe they do have plans on cutting prices, and you're one of the ones who like jumps in at 1-1, and then all of a sudden, 3 or 4 months later, they're cutting prices like they're doing on Diamond. I mean, that would worry me. That would not make me feel secure about actually pulling the trigger on one of those homes. So just do your research, your diligence, see what Lennar has done with communities in our neck of the woods. And if it makes sense, a house is a house. You love it, you're going to stay there for a while. But again, I mean, Lennar has kind of a track record for doing that. Just, be aware. All right. Rancho Marietta is a community I've analyzed more than any other. I'm waiting for massive price drops to start there. None of the builders knows what they're doing for that community. It's an interesting community. Did you know Rancho Marietta back in the day? Rancho Marietta, El Dorado Hills, they were like neck and neck. And then Rancho Marietta kind of just disappeared. And it's pretty resorty over there too, as well too. And El Dorado Hills just kept building and building and building. I think Rancho Marietta is nice. I think that the road to get from Folsom to Rancho Marietta is a little cumbersome, but I like the area. I think Rancho Marietta is nice. All right. Dun, dun, dun. All right. What's the bare minimum must-haves for $1 million? Thinking for the future, I'd say, okay, for $1 million, depending on what builder, as if you're looking for $1 million, I would say you're looking for at least probably like 3,000 square feet. And I mean, you don't have to have 3,000, but if it's like under 3,000, it needs to be really, really dialed in. I would say also you want to have some sort of backyard, at least 30, 35 foot backyard. I would say that would probably be something. I'd say some of these communities that have pools, maybe at $1 million, you have a pool or hot tub or something like this. You have a little bit more privacy for $1 million. That would be just me. Like in Gold River, for example, I think here you can get $1 million house and you're going to get maybe like something just above 3,000 square feet. You're going to get a pool. The HOA is about 300 something, no Mellorews. And so that's what I equate to like what you'd be getting for like $1 million. I think $1 million can get you a really nice house. At times, there are a lot of people that we work with that are looking for more than $1 million, but I think for $1 million, you can get yourself a really nice house. All right. What do you think about the neighborhood in Fair Oaks that's east of Hazel near Phoenix Park? Phoenix Fields seemed like some good deals and decent schools. I love Phoenix Fields. I think you could see me there in the near future. We have some good friends that are out there. No HOAs, no Mellorews, great park. Everyone's raves about the schools over there as well too. Go to greatschools.org for that. But I love that area. I think that area is great. I think there's so many pockets in Fair Oaks. I love Currow Downs. I love, what was it called? Like, the Phoenix Fields area too. It's all like it was an old, like, I think, airport out there as well back in the day. Great community. Some of our best friends live out there. And if I had seen something in Phoenix Fields when I was looking that really worked for me, I would totally have pulled the trigger there instead of Gold River, just because I didn't want to deal with HOAs, no Mellorews. And I think out there you can get more land. It's great community vibe too. Christmas time, they're all the houses, Halloween, everything too. I like that area. I cannot rave enough about Phoenix Fields. I think it's great. All right. East Ridge actually starting price is high 900s for only 21. Ooh, 21. Most of their models are north of 1.1. In the first releases, not premium lots, 800 to 1400 month mellow. Oh, I think with yeah, that's yeah. I think we're gonna see the Lennar dance. All right, we need to get Catavadero sold. Oh, that house is gorgeous. I mean, honestly, I think it might be a little before its time, but that house is gorgeous. And going back to Video Guy Matt, this alone should kind of tell you, like, here's the thing. This is not this what Video Guy Matt just basically said does not set the stage for a successful community. So I could eat my words, and if I do, I will let you guys know right away. But this worries me right here as far as this goes. All right. Their largest models are 1.4 million, not even in the best school district. I think they got over their heads on the land cost, price themselves out of the market there. Yeah, I know. It sounds a little brutal. I mean, again, for me, I see so many things wrong happening in that community too. And I was excited. I was thinking to myself, okay, this community is going to come out. They're going to price probably somewhere like mid 700s, then maybe start having large floor plans. I just didn't know that they were going to just go crazy on the price point out of the gate in a market where, you know, it's not a super strong market. So I wish them luck, but I think they're going to need a lot of it. All right, let's go to this. Fair Oaks. See why Fair Oaks, Sacramento's hidden gem. I love Fair Oaks. Again, Fair Oaks could be that spot that I move into after this. After Gold River. Love Fair Oaks. I think it's great. Kerr Downs, Phoenix Fields. Again, Phoenix Fields is, if you're looking in Fair Oaks, if you're looking in like an area that is like a gem, undiscovered gem, Phoenix Fields is awesome. Definitely check it out. Park vibe. Like I said, I love it, love it there. All right, guys, if you're enjoying the broadcast, please smash that like button. Also, comments and questions, come on, bring them. All right. Who thinks they can get a 3-bedroom house in Sacramento for under, I think this was $350. Maybe there is, but I don't know where. It's a tough one. I think someone did in Rio Linda. There are some spots you can get it. It's just a hard thing to find. I'd say 3-in-1, probably a little bit easier to do. 2-in-1. Yeah, it's not an easy thing to do at all. All right. All right, how about Land Park? It's really went up a lot in the past years. I'm actually doing a video of a luxury home in Land Park. We're going to be filming it tomorrow. Land Park, I would say that whole area, right? East Sacramento, Land Park, Tahoe Park, all those areas, right? I would say the hottest market right now out of all those, East Sacramento is on fire. I talked to Michelle, and she lives in East Sacramento, and she's like, it is crazy. Anything thrown up in East Sacramento flies. And I think Land Park is right behind it. And I think Land Park is on fire as well too. I think Land Park, Tahoe Park, South Land Park as well too. I think Sierra Oaks may be a little light, Arden a little light, but I think if you're looking for like Sacramento proper areas that are just flying, Tahoe Park, South Land Park, East Sacramento, those areas are just on fire right now too. I'm looking forward to shooting this house tomorrow as well. But yeah, if you guys are looking for Sacramento proper, it's nice. The only thing that drives me crazy about Land Park is that if you have a large SUV and you want to have a garage, a lot of times they have those little tiny, it's perfect for one of those Mini Coopers, but other than that, you don't have a garage. That drives me nuts. But Land Park, highly desirable. People love Land Park. Yeah, right. Let's get some more questions, and then we are gone for the evening. Or we got, okay, so this is it. No offense, but you'd buy this for the grounds. The house looks a bit long in the tooth. I lived between San Antonio and Austin, and if this was there, you'd have to add a 0, even if it's, yes, but we're in California, man. California, gotta give this house love. I love this house. And I think maybe I didn't relate as much inside, but inside was beautiful. You know, and these people put a lot of love into it. And for me, I show much respect to these type of houses. All right. Hope Sacramento doesn't eventually catch up to LA or Don Francisco price wise. Yeah, no, San Francisco, we're not going to get there. It was funny. I was talking to this one person a couple years ago. They're like, oh, pretty soon we'll be at Bay Area prices. If we're at Bay Area prices and LA prices are going to be like that. So no, we're the value add of California. That's what we are. 100%. That's what Sacramento is. That's where our sweet spot is. That's what makes us such a popular destination in California. Because people from Sacramento or San Francisco, people from San Jose, Los Angeles are like, look, I'm selling my 1,000 square foot condo for $2 million. I want to move somewhere. I want to get an amazing house and I don't want to pay these prices. And they come here. So are we ever going to go neck and neck with the Bay Area or Los Angeles? No, we don't want to. We've got the perfect spot to be in. We are California lifestyle, California resort. Bring your money, buy an amazing house here, buy a couple rental properties and retire. That's what Sacramento is. So that's what I love. All right. Nice. I want to sell my house in Tahoe Park next year. Glad to hear our neighborhood is doing well. Tahoe Park is on fire. It has been for a while. Yeah, Tahoe Park, I love. A hospital will be built in West Roseville. I know. That's all it needs. West Roseville, a hospital. I mean, it's got what? Costco's, surf park, shopping, Placer One, Placer Parkway. I mean, yeah, it's got everything going for it. Hospital, jobs, boom. Yeah. I'm hoping as well too. Roy, where do we go? Okay, who thinks they can get a 3-bedroom house in Sacramento for under 350? I've noticed listings online. Yep, not under 350. But yeah, there are additional listings hitting online too. I can't wait to show April stats once we get past April. All right, would you spend over $1 million to live in Grand Bay? Folsom is the best area, but Grand Bay has some of the biggest mansions in Sacramento. Okay, so for a lot of people who don't know Sacramento in general, they're thinking to themselves, you know what? I want to buy, like, does Sacramento have those communities that have like, the U-shaped driveway, the gates, the big, huge mansions, right? The big, huge, like pieces of land, the ones that have guest houses. That's Grand Bay. Grand Bay, I mean, there's other spots, yes, in Sacramento, but if you're looking for like mansion, Sacramento King, Eddie Murphy, yada, yada, all that stuff, that's Grand Bay for you. That's where you're looking. Some of those houses go over 10,000 square feet. That's kind of Grand Bay. I always joke with people. I'm like, Grand Bay is kind of like the Beverly Hills of Sacramento. Don't laugh. But yes, that's what I say. So I would say if you're looking for that house, if you're maybe a Sacramento king or a future king and you're saying, I wonder where I want to live in Sacramento, go to Grand Bay. You probably won't leave it. Grand Bay is pretty awesome that way. All right. Who thinks they can get a 3-bedroom house in Sacramento for under? On the 6th of March, I bought a 3-1 in Rio Linda for $349. Man. I'm sure actually there's probably major competition for this as well too. All right. Toured a Disneyland inspired mansion, Fair Oaks, and is it hard to insure? Now, here's the thing that I'm going to tell you. Any house that you decide to pull the trigger on or decide to put an offer in, have your insurance person run quotes for you. It is going to be the thing that you're going to thank me the most for. In Sacramento, it's a crapshoot. Some houses good, some houses bad, this and that and everything too. You need to have an insurance person on speed dial to tell you exactly what you're getting yourself into before you even put your EMD in, maybe even write the offer in for a house. Figure that out. Some of these houses look amazing. They're like picturesque, awesome. They might be a little isolated and you're saying to yourself, that is the dream house we always wanted. $14,000, California Fair Plan, ouch. Just be careful. All right. I'm curious. How's AI affected the real estate business? I'm in tech and it's all we ever talk about and use. I'm actually AI. I mean, I think AI is going to just take over so much. I mean, it just is what it is. I think real estate, it's already realtors in general tend to be their own worst enemy. Like, a lot of realtors I know pay Zillow for leads. I mean, Zillow is like the worst thing for real estate, but like so many people are so embedded in Zillow. So realtors, if there's a way to use AI to make their jobs easier and for them to do less work, they probably will use AI and it'll come back to bite it. And I've seen this in real estate time in, time out. Like it just is the way it is. It's not only real estate. I just say like almost any industry, right? You're going to see the first people jump into AI in real estate, which you already said, and they're going to take full advantage of AI. They're going to use it. They're going to start writing blogs, videos, posting anything they possibly can. And they're going to start getting a lot of business through it. Then everyone else is going to catch on. They're going to feel like, you know what, that guy's doing it. I'm going to do it. There's going to be seminars. There's going to be coaches. And then all of a sudden our entire industry is just going to be AI based. And then everyone's going to scratch their head and go, I wonder, it isn't fair what AI is doing. Yes, but we created this monster in real estate. Everyone's using it. Everyone's like crutching onto AI. So yeah, as far as real estate right now, I'd say a lot of people use it. I would say 8 out of 10 realtors in our market use AI in one form or the other, whether it's writing descriptions for homes, even helping with offers or whatnot too. It's scary, but it's definitely something that happens. Now, for me, AI for me, I found to be very inaccurate for a lot of things that I do. And I just don't trust it as much as I wish I did. And eventually, I'm sure it'll get to the point where it's completely accurate on everything. But for me, a lot of times, like, I'll do videos for you guys or whatnot. And I don't trust AI to give me the facts. I don't trust AI to talk to me about stuff like this. I need to get out there and kind of have that stuff too, because it's my credibility on the line when I do stuff. So yeah, but hopefully that answers a little bit of your question. I think AI will be very, 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 I mean, it could take over real estate completely. I mean, and that's the scary part. And not just real estate, so many other professions. All right. Hey, Lori, great show as usual. Love your YouTube reality showings of local offerings. Oh, I appreciate it. The one we're going to do I'm launching one on Friday at 7 p.m. It was crazy. Okay, so like, what was it? 2 weeks ago, before I got sick, there was this person that's listing the $7 million house in Loomis, Clos de Lac, and it's like this vineyard community in Loomis, super exclusive, like really amazing community. All these vineyards run through all the houses, and you get wine from it as well too once a year. So I was invited to this to go film this house. Now the beautiful part is this actual event was sponsored by Ferrari. So they brought in like 5 or 6 Ferraris to test drive. So you could test drive the Ferraris. There was like wine tastings as well too. I don't drink, but it was kind of cool to see. And it was a $7 million house. So that's a video you guys are going to get at 7 on Friday. It is, to say it was epic, was just unbelievable. Like, it was just one of a kind event. Jason was there as well too. It was amazing. I mean, people were test driving Ferraris. People were like drinking wine. I mean, there was like, I think there was music there. There's charcuterie. It was just probably these events happen like once or twice a year, and it was phenomenal. And I got to videotape the entire thing, and I'm so excited to see what my editors come up with for Friday. But I think Friday will give you a little bit of a taste of kind of like that level of luxury that we do have in like the Sacramento area that a lot of people might not think that we do. So it'll be fun. Confirm it. Yeah. I mean, Jason, it was just one of those things that I'm still getting people talking about it today. So well done. And also, here's the thing. Well done to Paris. He's the listing agent on that one, and he connected with Ferrari. He got the whole thing set up. I mean, this is the stuff I want to see more in Sacramento, because I think there's other areas in like San Francisco, Los Angeles, where they do stuff like this all the time. And it'd be nice to see more of these events happen, and more of this like energy focus, realtors' money spent on trying to get the home sold at the premium price. So Paris, giving you a shout out on that one. All right. Would you spend over $1 million to live in Grand Bay? I was shocked to see a majority said no. Yes, I put this poll up, and a majority of people said they would not spend over $1 million to live in Grand Bay. Again, guys, come on. Beverly Hills is Sacramento. Mostly votes must be local original residents. I can tell you that anything up to $2 million is seriously affordable compared to the rest of California. The Sacramento area is your last chance to have the California lifestyle under $2 million, unless you want to live in Fresno, Bakersfield, or Modesto, which is a huge, yeah, gotta agree with that. Yeah, and for Grand Bay, the crazy part about Grand Bay is $1 million. It's either going to be super competitive, it's going to be a little bit of a fixer. $1 million doesn't even get you into Grand Bay. All right, I agree the market is weird. Seeing a lot of homes sit because sellers and their listing agents have big egos. Then I see some fly faster than hotcakes. On Monday, I made an offer for an Elk Grove home at list price. The listing agent told my agent they were going with an offer that was $50K over. Sheesh, I like the home. Didn't like it that much. I'm not crazy and still made decisions based on NBRS, not emotion. Hopefully they don't run into appraisal issues. I would say one thing is I'm seeing new homes sometimes run into appraisal issues. Yeah, and if you're going to be writing an offer that's way above list, make sure you have that appraisal contingency intact, or you could be in trouble. All right, you're seeing the market pick up. I'm seeing a lot of sales in 1.2. Yeah, again, Vicky, you're spot on. A lot of sales in 1.2, 2.8 range. This is medicine money. It's not middle class. Now there's a lot of people moving in, a lot of people cashed out. Crypto, it's a lot easier to actually use crypto to buy houses. We're just seeing that market segment really, really pick up, and it's transforming our market crazy in the Sacramento area. For me, I kind of knew that that would happen. I was seeing it. I was seeing a lot of people come in. We're seeing a lot of executives come into the market. They're looking in the twos, they're looking in the threes. We're seeing people who, for the most part, are saying, I want to move here, but I want the best of the best. That's what our market is kind of going towards. So I don't know. It's crazy to see what Sacramento is going to be in the future. Look at 2128 Outrigger driving El Dorado Hills goals. Put it on the screen. Laugh out loud. Let me see if I can find it. All right, what is it again? All right. This is the funniest thing is when I do this, and this is the honest truth, is whenever I put this stuff on on it, I know sometimes I'll get a realtor that says, "Why did you put my house that I'm listing on the market?" Realtors get so utterly like territorial. Like it's even hard sometimes if I see a house and I'm like, "That would be a great video. Can I do a video?" And they'll say no. And guys, if you guys are selling a house that's amazing and you're like, "You know what? I'd really love to get some action, some video on it and everything too," have your listing agent reach out to me, because at the end of the day, like I would absolutely love to do some more video content for people who are looking to see some of the best of Sacramento. And if I can do that and help people sell their homes, I am super good with it. All right, Jason, this one's for you. And this is going to wrap up the show. Here we go. Boom. Look at that. Man, that's a nice pool. Wow. Okay. Man, that is a nice house. What do we got? We got the pool. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Would you live here? Oh my, this is crazy. Oh man. Oh yeah. This doesn't even look like Sacramento. Man. All right, I'm drooling too hard. What was it? Oh, of course I do. That's another thing too that drives me absolutely nuts. You'll see a lot of listing agents that won't accept offers because they want to double end the deal. I've always been a firm believer that I don't think double ending should be allowed in California. I actually think it should be illegal. I think it's like going to court with a lawyer for the defense and prosecution. I've never understood that, how one person, a realtor, can represent both sides of the deal. And I also think that when realtors try to argue that with me, they're just trying to make themselves sleep a little bit better. We don't double end. We just don't. In fact, in the Folsom house that we have right now too, they wanted me to double end that deal, and I told them I would not do that. I didn't feel I could do a good job for both parties. And when a realtor comes in and goes, "Oh, I can do that. I just got to do this, do this, do this." For me, there's a level of shade there. I don't think you can do that. And I don't think double ending should be legal in California at all. I think other states it's not. Some other states it's not. But for me, the idea that you have one realtor trying to represent the buyer the best they can, trying to represent the seller the best they can, it just, I don't think it is. And for me, I think that that's a level of shade that realtors shouldn't do. And I think if you run into that situation, you don't feel comfortable with it, you shouldn't. It's not something that, in my opinion, should be allowed. You give Pat Sajak during your showings. Price is Right. No, that's not. Wait, is it Wheel of Fortune? Wheel of Fortune. All right, guys. I am done for the evening. I'm out of here. Smash that like button. Next week, we'll go longer. We're going to talk a little bit about Placer versus Sacramento County, and give you guys a little bit of an idea of like what's the difference between both counties, as far as price per square foot, as far as what's moving faster. A lot of people are like, Placer is the 80. Sacramento is kind of the 50. I mean, some intertwining areas, but for the most part, we're going to talk a little bit about the difference, which ones we're seeing hotter, colder, what are some all-star communities in either one, why people pick the Placer over Sacramento and Sacramento over Placer. It should be a fun show. Looking forward to it. And I will be, right now I'm feeling about maybe like 85% there. Hopefully next week I'll be at 100. Again, guys, thank you for tuning in. I'm very, very grateful for you guys tuning in, asking all these amazing questions. Honestly, like the thing that makes me the happiest about the show is the fact that when people watch the replay on it, they're going to see all your questions, all your answers as well too. And it's going to help them probably get a little bit of idea about Sacramento, the area, and everything too. So you guys might not be intending it to be this way, but your questions and your answers, I guarantee you, will help other people who are thinking about making the move to Sacramento. And at the end of the day, that's just what we want. Try an LT for allergies. Ooh, I will. Okay. Let me cut and paste that real quick. I will. Yeah, allergies are killing me as well too. All right, guys, I'm gone. Enjoy your evening. And like I said, if you guys want to go take a look at some homes, or if you're thinking about selling your home, reach out to us. We'd love to work with you. We live for this stuff. Sad but true. See you next Friday. See you this Friday at 7 p.m. for the video I'm going to drop, and I will see you next Wednesday. Okay, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the show tonight. Buying and selling is stressful. I mean, there are definitely different avenues you can go in, and there's no guarantee. Every property is different, whether you're looking to buy it or sell it. So reach out to our team and we can talk to you a little bit about the pros and cons of selling currently, what your house is valued at, and all that stuff too. There's a link below to schedule a call. Now, if you're thinking about moving to the area, guys, reach out to our team as well. We're working with a lot of people relocating them to the Sacramento area. We absolutely love it. There's a Zoom link below. Set up a time where we can talk to you a little bit about what your needs are. Now, if you enjoyed this live broadcast, smash that like button. We would love to talk to you a little bit about Sacramento. I mean, we always are out and about. So if you're looking at places like El Dorado, Roseville, Rockland, Davis, we got you covered. Just reach out to us. And maybe you don't want to do a Zoom call, so just hit me at my phone number on the banner and we can talk a little Sacramento. Now, guys, one last thing before I go. There's a playlist right over there of other videos I've done about the Sacramento area. Knowledge is power. Those videos will help you kind of make a decision if Sacramento is that spot for you and you want to take it to the next stage. All right, guys, this is Mark. Have a good one. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. Remember, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next video.